pray, they did not pray. When I tell them this is your mother or your aunt, they were vacant. When he came back, he didn't know one word of Arabic, and he would not associate with the family. Only over time did he come to know us again.
But in these situations, where we left our families at such an early age, it caused us, of course, to change our way of living. We were deprived of family affection. Growing up with family is different from leaving home at the age of 10. Also, not to mention that we only had contact with our family maybe once a year. It definitely affected our relationships.
It's horrible enough that people are seized from their homes, forced to live in remote camps, and that children are, to this day, snatched from their families and shipped away. But the addition of literal, physical injury to these circumstances has prompted some men to take action. Former Polisario political prisoners have established a non-governmental human rights organization in Morocco, hoping to combat the continuing abuses in the Polisario camps by sharing their personal testimonies with the world.
I suffered for 13 years in prison. Many men's lives were also destroyed. I was imprisoned for my political activity. Others were imprisoned for defending their dignity or for other reasons. I suffered a lot. I lived day and night being handcuffed behind my back. I had to eat with my hands that way. I could not use my hands. Well, we were all eating like dogs. We received just a little rice, which we had to eat without our hands. That prison, I remember, it was a hole. The holes were just like tombs. Each hole was about 2 feet wide and about 3 feet long, and about 6 feet in the ground. The holes were covered with planks, with earth on top, and they were one after the other. Freedom of movement in the camps was very limited. It was limited to the camp where you lived. There were some radio stations that were not allowed to listen to. To express any viewpoint different from the Polisario was forbidden. Saying anything about the Polisario leaders could get you put in prison. If someone was put in prison for no reason at all, and you asked about him, you could also be taken to prison. I saw prisoners dying every day. They were crying and shouting. They were beaten and battered by wire cables. Every half hour there was a guard who came and pounded on the plank covering your hole. If you didn't say present, he would take you out and beat you to death.
In the face of such blatant abuses and deprivations, people living in the Polisario camps do sometimes receive news about relatives. Word of family living in freedom in Laayoune, Dakhla or other southern Moroccan cities only increases their desire for freedom. After 30 years of life in the Polisario camps, a small number of hostage families have a glimpse of hope because of the United Nations Family Visit Program. In early 2004, the UN organized a limited number of visits for families in the camps and Morocco. Most of these families had been separated for decades. However, the UN program has serious budget problems and cannot handle the 12,000 family members in the camps who want to visit family in Morocco. The UN High Commission for Refugees has recently launched an appeal to the international donor community to continue to fund this program, which is in imminent danger of being eliminated. This would be yet another tragedy for families who have been separated from their loved ones for over 30 years.
I have 3 daughters here in Morocco. Since they heard of a possible family visit, every day they cry and say, "We want to go see our sister."
They applied. They were among the very first to apply. They wanted to come and visit me and my sister, but until now, they have not been able to come. They have not been allowed. Others have come who do not have direct father or mother relationship here. But unfortunately, as I told you, they have not been able to come. And when I asked them if they could, they told me there was no way for them to come.
And yet, even for the lucky few who do enjoy a few days of freedom with their families in Morocco, this is a desolation to which they return. Many Polisario camp hostages have tried to escape, and many with lethal results. It's no small undertaking to leave the camps. A successful escape is only the first step in a long journey, often on foot, across the harshest desert, to the Moroccan border, or around through Mauritania to Morocco. There is the danger of landmines as well as Algerian and Polisario soldiers. But it seems the longer people are forced to live in the camps, the more desperate they are to escape.
The first attempt failed. Some friends and I tried to leave through Algeria. We arranged a car and a driver from Algeria. Maybe the person who drove us was working for Algerian intelligence. We couldn't know. Anyway, he took us about 30 kilometers and told us it was a 2-hour walk to the Moroccan border. We stayed there until sunset. But we thought maybe he went back and told the Algerians where we were. So we started walking on foot. It was summertime. And then the Algerians found us. 4 of us were killed by Algerian bullets. The 3 of us who survived were put in prison. We were taken before a military court and sentenced to 10 years, 1 month, 5 days, and a few hours. First, choose a dark, windy night. You cannot talk about it with even your wife or children. It's a decision you must make yourself. All I took with me were 2 liters of water, so as not to cause any suspicion. With those 2 liters, I traveled for 70 kilometers for 2 nights and 1 day before I made it to the border. We would like to ask the American people and the United States of America to use its influence everywhere in the world to get Algeria to leave us in peace and allow all of the Sahrawis to be together again. After 30 years, our children have not seen their parents. Some of them are in Algeria, some are in Cuba, some are in Syria, and some we don't know where they are. How long must we suffer with nobody seeing how we suffer?
Over the years, some 7,000 Sahrawis have managed to escape from the Polisario camps in Algeria and now live in Morocco. Others have escaped and made their homes elsewhere. But there are tens of thousands who still suffer arbitrary imprisonment at the hands of the Polisario. They are waiting for the world to notice and to help them return to their homes and their families. For more information or to learn how you can help, please visit www.moroccanamericanpolicy.org.